Hi all and welcome back to the corporate identity task. What we're going to do is just recap where we left off and then what our next steps are going to be. So in the first part of the task we were recreating logos, looking at shape and proportion. So we looked at the Snapchat, TikTok and Instagram logo, and then we recreated this random logo looking at proportion. I'd said I'd made a mistake, I got the proportions wrong in this one, so on this one I redid it and got the proportions much better. So we're using the grid. You don't have to print this, you can if you have, if you're able to and you want to, but you don't have to. So the next part of the task is this. We're going to look at flat tonal scale, gradient, we're going to look at the colour wheel, and then we're going to analyse some information about colours and what they mean. So you did the colour theory task last week. You did that with the forms. So what we're going to do now is just use that knowledge and apply it. Don't worry about the circle just now. I'll go over that. If you're wanting to do this part, it simply is a case of you can use a straight edge, draw your rectangle out and break your box up into 10. So you can do that, so don't worry, you don't have to print. With this first one, I'm actually just going to do it in grey pencil because you don't have to use colour on it. We will use colour later on, but don't worry if you've not got coloured pencils, it's fine. So when we are shading, you always want to hold your pencil at the end, so never up here as if you're writing. Hold at the end so it's flat, and you're wanting to get a consistent shade across the way, like so. Okay, so the more pressure you apply, or go back over it, the darker it will be, and the lighter you go, the lighter your shading will be. So that is what we're going to do on this. So I always recommend turning your page. Makes it much easier to shade and manoeuvre your hand. And we're going to start here, so we've got 1 being the lightest and 10 being the darkest. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do each of these boxes. I'm just going to do this one really lightly. Don't worry if you go outside the lines, you can take a rubber to it. It's the whole purpose of this is really to practice like with your pencil and get that tone. So I'm going to do one flat tone across the full thing, building that tone up across here and holding the pencil nice and flat, and I'm going to go right the way across the page like so. And again, I'll just clean that up with a wee rubber at the end, it's not a big deal. And what are we across here? So pencil, ordinary pencil is great because you can just rub it out, so that's not an issue. So I'll bring that tone across here, get that built up. So now I want to start to get these bits darker. So that's going to be number 1, that's my lightest. So I'm going to go slightly darker on this one here within this box and build up that tone like so. And it's just noticeably darker, not too dark, but just slightly darker. And then this one, again, I'm going to go darker again. So, like so, and again, just lean that little bit heavier to build up that tone. And then in number 4, again, lean that little bit heavier. And as you start to lean heavier, you can slightly go into more of the tip of your pencil, okay? And build that in, and again you can just keep going back over it to build up that depth. So you can see it's progressively starting to get darker, and in here as well. Notice I'm shading in one continuous direction, I'm not going the other way, I'm just going in this direction, I'm not then going across the way like that. So continue to build that up in here, and it's just a case of getting it darker as we go. And the same in here, aiming to just get it a little bit darker each time on that tonal scale. And it's just a case of leaning a bit heavier on your pencil to build that up. nearly there. And as you'll see, I'm starting to use more of the point of the pencil and lean that a little bit heavier. So the lighter and less pressure, the lighter the shading will be. I'm also a lefty, so what you'll notice is I go right across my page with my hands end up filthy by the end of this, but it's fine. So again, I'll build that up there, just ensuring there's a difference in tone, and then the last one here, and getting this really dark. And just keep going back over it to build up the depth that you want. Okay, so we've started here and we finished up there, and what we're going to do is go get a rubber and tidy this up a bit. So, a bit like Blue Peter, here is the finished article. So you can see there it's been lighter, progressively getting darker and darker and darker into the individual blocks. So what I'm going to do now is, instead of having it in squares, I'm going to do that as one continuous line across here. Another tip you can use when you're shading is you can put a straight edge here to prevent you going outside the lines. So what you can do is you can shade like that, and it'll allow you shade towards the edge. That is another option, and you can shade across. I'm just going to do this really quickly. So holding my pencil flat, and I'm getting a nice progressive light tone right across here, building that up like so. And again, as I say, you'll get lighter towards the end, so I'll build that in more in there. Again, don't worry if you go outside your lines, we will tidy that up with a wee rubber, or you can use a straight edge. So I'm going to bring this right across here to the end, nearly there, and again I want it really light at the end here. So my suggestion would be you work your way across the end, and then I would keep going back over this. So back again this way and building in a more even tone. You don't want white patches in it, you want a nice even smooth tone the full way across. And again, just taking the pressure off at the lighter end, just getting that a wee bit lighter as we work towards the end. And then just again, back and forth, and you're just going to keep going over that again until you get that depth. So I'm going to go and do that and then come back to you. So what you'll see then is I've completed that tone, and I've rubbed out any kind of excess there. So you can see that's a gradual tone, so we've got the really dark colour sliding across to the light colour. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at the colour wheel. We've already done a task on the colour wheel, and you will have taken notes on that as well. Little tip, if you don't have this printed, it's not an issue. Find things in your cupboard. So I have an old bowl, that'll do, and then some coasters. So what I'm going to do is flip that and trace it. Really easy. And then for the inner circle, I'll try that. Just get it in the middle as close as you can. Don't worry if you don't get it perfect. About there will do for me. And then swing that round like so. So what we're going to do now is start to add the colour to this, and I'm going to start with the primary colours and then inside out. Do your best. If you've got coloured pencils, great. If not, you'll just need to fill it in with just writing it in. But please, if you've got coloured pencils, render it. It will obviously look much better and it lets you practice those skills. So I'm going to add in red here. I'm not sure that's the right colour of red. Let me see if I can acquire another one. That's a bit better red there. So I'm just going to build that up in there, and again, please take your time. This is where you can't really rub out coloured pencil, so this is where a straight edge. Now, albeit I'm using a ruler, you could use a book, anything as long as it's a straight edge to fill in those colours. And again, just keep turning that paper. Don't try and turn your hand into weird and wonderful positions, it'll just hurt. So I might even go over that with this bit of red because that looks a little bit orange on my screen. It's not, but I can see it looks a little bit of a funny colour under my lighting. So I've got red there, yellow, and again I'll add that in here, and I'll use my straight edge. This is a really good tip for getting those sharp lines, is just using a straight edge like this. You could, again, don't worry if you don't have it, you could use masking tape. I'm not getting in the house, but you can mask off areas. So when it came to final pieces of rendering, you can mask it off. And then my blue. So I need to find, maybe go with that blue, it might be a wee bit lighter. I'll maybe try kind of mixing the light blue with the navy. Oh no, if that's all right on the page, that's fine. I'm building up that tone and there, like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and finish this and come back and show you when it's done. So I've done the primary and secondary colours, and what I want to do now is I want to do the tertiary colours. So a tertiary colour is a mixture of the primary and the secondary colour together. So these would be, if that's yellow and that's orange, that would be yellow orange. So yellow, and I'm going to ask that you label yours too. So we've got yellow, orange, and then in here would be yellow orange would be the colour. So yellow / orange is simply that colour. I'm going to mute my computer because it keeps pinging in the background. So yeah, then what I'm going to do is shade those together. So if I do the yellow orange, I would simply continue that yellow through here, like so, and then I would blend in the orange on top of it and have that tone yellow orange. So again, if you want, you can use your ruler or a straight edge, doesn't matter what it is, and blend those tones together. Oh, sorry, I'm off screen there. Blend those tones together. I might go with a wee bit more yellow. And there is your yellow orange tone, and then you would do the same here. So for example, yellow green, I would just extend my yellow. I'm going to have to sharpen my yellow, extend my yellow round like so, and then get my green, and again I'll just use that to stop my edge and build that in there like so. So you're holding a pencil flat always and getting that yellow green tone there like so. Okay, and there's your yellow green, and again just label it. So we've got green here, and this tone would be called yellow green, this colour, yellow / green, and it's as easy as that. So I'm going to go and finish this colour wheel. So that's this part now complete. I'll move my water bottle out the way. That's this part now complete, and then what they want to do at the bottom of this task is to annotate what each colour means in terms of what it invokes when you see it. What does it kind of engage your brain and your senses? So again, this is on the PowerPoint, I'll attach that as well. But red is love. I would say do 3 for each. Danger and festive. So we associate red with kind of Christmas, we associate it with stop, danger, and then we associate it with love.